My gesture drawings used to look so stiff and dead, but studying movies like Zootopia helped my poses feel way more alive. Today I'll break down 3 simple gesture drawing tips from this movie so that you can steal them and use them in your own figures. Tip number 1, use the silhouette. The silhouette is basically just the outline, the contour of the body. A fantastic tool used by animators and artists to check if the pose is clear, if it tells the story, and if it's appealing. Just look at these examples from this movie. Even when they are just a black shadow, you can still recognize the character and what they are doing right away. That's why you want to think about the silhouette right from your gesture drawing phase, right when you're starting to build your pose. Because once you add all the anatomy, all the details and the shading, it becomes much harder to fix a bad pose. It may be just too late. So one exercise I always like to do to develop my sense of silhouette is just to black out my gestures. I mean, it doesn't matter anyway, it is just a quick sketch, an exercise. Nobody will ever see it. This removes all the noise and forces me to ask myself, is it really clear who the character is and what they are doing? Are they old? Are they young? Are they male or female? By practicing like this from time to time, I train my brain to think about clarity anytime I draw a gesture, a pose, or a character. So this way I get an instant feedback on whether my poses are working or not. And this is crucial, especially if you are a self-taught artist like me. Okay, the next tip is about one of my favorite tools when it comes to gesture. The line of action. Because it allows you to plan any pose in just a few seconds, no matter how complex. And in this movie there are tons of great lines of action. Like this one, or this one. But what really helped me to level up was using the line of action not just for one character, but to plan entire scenes with 2 or more characters in it. This way I also stopped drawing the same old one character gesture and started to plan more complex interactions and compositions. It added a twist to my practice sessions and it made them way more fun, and also the final piece is way more interesting to look at. Because the line of action is one of the fastest ways to make 2 or more characters interact without stressing too much about anatomy or design. Yet. Let me show you. All you have to do is drawing a simple line of action and you can rough in 2 characters pushing, pulling, arguing, whatever, and quickly explore different ideas. Once you find a story that you really like, you just have to turn that simple line into a quick gesture, and then finally you can start tying it down. Every time I skipped this stage, I always ended up with a stiff, unclear result and wasted a ton of time. Now I think about the line of action every time I start a new sketch. And even if you are working with just one character, the line of action is still your best friend to explore different acting choices. Because the line of action not only communicates the action, but also the emotion. The plan is always the same. Start from the line of action, play around with different options, and when you find one that you really like, you can start to commit and develop it. One of the best ways to draw figures from imagination, once you start to get more comfortable with it. But there is also another tip from Zootopia that will help you to draw your gestures without any reference. Designing your shapes. This movie is a masterclass in shape design. Because, there are so many different animals and body types. They break the character down into simple shapes to create contrast, so every character is instantly recognizable. So I started doing the same with my gestures and my figures. Because you see, every shape brings a different subconscious feeling. A square usually feels strong and solid. A circle feels soft and friendly. A triangle, sharp and aggressive. So when I started thinking in terms of big shapes about my figures, I was not only able to simplify the body in these big shapes, but I was also able to modify the reference and changed its design to communicate my story, and started to use reference just as reference. But this is not the only way in which I use shapes, because seeing the whole body inside of a big overall shape gives me a blueprint to draw my own gestures and push them to tell a better story. For example, by imagining a squashed circle, I can make this wind up feel more powerful, and with a stretched circle, I can make this jump even stronger. But there is one last lesson that we can take from all this. Study animated movies. Because they make complex figure drawing concepts, like a gesture, way more fun and simple to understand. You will not only see all these principles in action, but your mind will start to record how the pros use them. And I will see you on my next step.